This
completely.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So I have 16 years of SAP experience completely into SAP right after my BTech graduation. And, I started my career with ABAP and then, into TM technical. Coming to the TM technical, I have total around 7 to 8 years of SAP TM technical experience. And I have written several blogs in the SAP community forums, several articles posted, and uh, not very often, but whenever I get some time, I do some videos as well, and I just post it in YouTube. But yeah, that's about my background. And then I've been taking TM technical trainings for about 4 years so far, and I have trained about 300 400 300 plus candidates. Yeah, so and I started giving training start from SAP TM 9 version. And for me also, though I am trainer, for me also it is a learning journey, because I'm very transparent and openly saying this, because if you would have experienced it, the way SAP is changing their technology forte or technology frameworks, with every version they are bringing a lot of new concepts, lot of new approaches, and lot of new innovational ideas, way of integration between systems, or the way the landscape deployment happens. Early when I started giving training, it was decentralized SAP TM, but today we are into S4HANA TM embedded version. Okay, so there are several landscape environments possible today. And when I say learning experience, it's not more than 10%, because SAP cannot afford to generate a new version with more than 10% of the changes. If they do, they will see the customers will not be happy, because their their investments will go high, and the project cost, project budget, the maintenance, everything will go high. And therefore that result into a less demand for the SAP applications, be it TM or any product. So therefore, whenever SAP come up with a new version, they keep in mind that hardly 2 to 3% of the new innovation things are new dimensional changes they would bring in with every new version. Therefore, it is easy to adopt for customers. It is easy to adopt by technology consultants, be it functional consultant or technical consultant or technical architect or integration architect, whoever work on the system. 2% or 3% of the changes it is easy to adopt. More than 5% or 10% of the changes, it is not so easy to adopt. Okay, therefore, at times the product may fail in the market to grab the attention of the customers. If the customers are not buying the license of the system, then the product is failed. Okay, so this is all market equations, and even the product owners have to keep these market equation in the mind when they are delivering or when they are coming up with a new version. Okay, so from SAP TM9, and today we are in TM embedded S4HANA 2021, that is the latest version. But our training is on TM embedded S4HANA 2020. And between 2020 and 2021, from the technical side, there are no major changes. Okay, so let's start with SAP TM technical online training. I'm the trainer, I'm Karthik, and let's get into the training sessions. So here is the course description. You see who can benefit, and what are the different skills you gain at end of the course, and what are the prerequisites. Okay, so I hear someone joined as a fresher in one MNC, and they got into some SAP TM project. And I also hear other person, they have a very good SAP experience, a vast experience of working with dozens of modules, and they learned that there is a good demand for SAP TM. And I hear from other participant that they are coming with SAP ABAP experience, but they want to learn SAP TM. So I hear all this from you, and I'm glad that you are in the you are in the right training session, because yes, you are all right. The market demand is you see such a demand for SAP TM never before. Okay, it's like that. I mean, I myself take a lot of interviews, and if there are 10 positions, we want to hire, but we get dozens of applications, but none of them are suitable. Why? Because they don't possess sufficient skills to fulfill that requirement, because they just learn by themselves, or they attend some other trainer course by paying lesser money, or they just go through some, they pay some 5,000, 10,000 INR, and then they get videos, and they are not useful. Okay, so I personally myself experienced couple of candidates who went through all these kind of experiences. At the end, they cannot clear the interview. Okay, so here in this training, our training is primarily both theoretical sessions as well as practical sessions. I hope you all might have seen the course content. That's okay if you have not seen it. We will go through the course content once again. But I have prepared the presentation, PPT presentation, which is used as a basis for theoretical explanation, theoretical understanding, theoretical discussion for all the frameworks. Okay, for all the technology frameworks that are, they are the pillars for SAP TM. We will discuss all the frameworks. There are primarily three frameworks for SAP TM. FPM stands for Floor Plan Manager. Then we have FBI, Floor Plan Manager, BOPF integration. And then the third framework is BOPF, Business Objects Processing Framework. Now, if you look at the framework, these frameworks, they are just frameworks. They are built based on certain SAP proprietary languages. When it comes to the technical technology, from the development standpoint, the SAP proprietary language is, the coding is ABAP, and ABAP itself evolved in certain progressive ways over last 30 years. That initially we used to write the ABAP programming, procedural programming with some SQL queries to extract the data or to save the data into the database. But now that ABAP has evolved to to the very latest stages, that it implements some object oriented programming language, and paradigm modeling, etc. And while this is at one side, the other side is that probably the complete industry or the market is fully loaded with web enabled applications. Java, WebDin Pro Java, or you call Java, you take Java, .NET. These are all the different technology programming, languages which are used for developing the web applications. Right now, when market is fully loaded with web applications which are all developed using .NET, Java, or other programming languages, then SAP also wanted to come with a technology possibility which can be used to develop the web enabled applications in SAP environment. That is what the first framework to develop the web enabled applications in SAP environment is WebDin Pro Java. But it inherits certain properties of Java, and it is not fully proprietary by SAP owned language. Therefore, very quickly that WebDin Pro Java has been disappeared from the world, and they have replaced WebDin Pro Java with WebDin Pro ABAP. Now ABAP is being the SAP proprietary programming language. Now Webden Pro ABAP has been widely used across several products of SAP system, SAP ecospace. So you probably might have heard supplier relationship management, SRM module, or CRM module. CRM, some of the applications you see that they are developed using a different language, and some of the applications you see they are developed using Webden Pro ABAP. Okay, so that was the very initial days of web application development. I would see CRM as one of the product which has which was delivered by SAP as the one of the front runner applications to work with web enabled environment. Okay, so that was the starting for SAP to develop the web application based products, etc. And then uh, later a lot of supply chain management modules have been flooded into the market. So you see, you might have been hearing SRM, CRM, SAP transportation management, success factors, or earlier it used to be collaboration portal, BSPs. So business server pages was also one of the programming language which was owned by SAP to develop the web enabled applications. So some of the applications in CRM product was developed by business server pages, BSPs, and some applications were developed by Webden Pro ABAP. And here we are in SAP TM. In SAP TM also, we don't directly work with Webden Pro ABAP, but we work with floor plan manager framework. So this is one of the recent language or recent framework which is used to develop the web enabled applications in SAP environment. But when it comes to the fundamentals or the programming language adaptations, that this floor plan manager framework is also fundamentally inherited from Webden Pro ABAP concepts. Okay, so all in all these frameworks in SAP TM, to become a successful developer, SAP TM developer or SAP TM technical consultant or SAP TM technical architect or SAP TM techno functional consultant, this training will help you to shape one of these roles. Okay, so you can become SAP TM techno functional consultant, you can become SAP TM technical architect, you can become SAP TM technical consultant, or you can become core TM developer as well. It all depends on what you learn and how do you practice it, how do you put your more efforts in practicing after attending these training sessions. And yes, definitely, with your experience also, your learning adaptation, if it is quick, you can become a technical architect as well. Yeah, so here you can see who is going to benefit this course. As I said, ABAP developers, technology consultants, technical architects, and any project team members who wish to get into SAP TM. So, and then you will gain the skills. I will teach you both theoretical as well as practical. We will also have practical sessions. We will do hands-on into the system in front of you, and I will project both from implementation perspective as well as from the support perspective, that if there is any requirement or session which we will be discussing, then you being a developer or technical consultant, how do you should focus if you are working on a support project, or what steps you should be performing if you are working on an implementation project, we will be discussing. And prerequisites, it's not obligatory, it's like it's good to have and nice to have. If you have a if you have already attended ABAP training, or if you know how to write ABAP programming language, that is sufficient for you to attend this course. So you need to have ABAP understanding, ABAP programming language understanding, and it's good to have Webdin Pro ABAP programming understanding, and object oriented ABAP, that is throughout the programming, when you have to write some programming logic, you will be writing it in object oriented ABAP only. It's all classes and methods. The entire SAP TM technical, it's all classes and methods. And meaning you do not have to be so expertise in object oriented ABAP. No, not necessary. That if you know how to call a method, that is sufficient, right? Rest all, once you open the method, within the method again you will be writing the ABAP logic, the same internal table logic, same read statement, that's all. Okay, so same if else if check statements, normal general ABAP programming language, it's all encapsulated into object oriented ABAP skills. And good to have basic understanding of transportation management. If you don't know the transportation management, doesn't matter, because our course is designed in such a way that you will also get an awareness and minimum understanding of TM functional knowledge also. And nice to have basic knowledge of TM architecture and enhancement concepts. If you know, good. Otherwise, we will anyway learn it in this training session. So here you will see agenda, introduction. So this is all introduction what we are talking. And why SAP TM and what is SAP transportation management. And we talk, I will, as I said, as I just said 1 minute ago, we will start with the TM functional overview. Why should we be talking TM functional overview, we being in TM technical training session? Because I hear most of you are coming from ABAP experience, and probably if you would have noticed that with supply chain management modules especially, you need to have a TM or any functional module functional understanding also. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, Karthik.
Okay, right. So if you know the TM functional overview, it will be an added advantage for you to collaborate with your functional consultants. It is an easy for you to collaborate with your business consultants, architects, or customers. From the customer side, you may have technical architect, or IT architect, IT project manager, someone will be there at every customer side. So therefore, though we are in the TM technical training, for you, if we will not go deep into the functional, but we will spend 1 to 2 hours for TM functional understanding. What is the basic flow, what is the difference between logistics execution and transportation management, and how does the TM serve for shippers, LSP, and carriers, and what all the different SAP integrations possible, the example process flow, and what all the process and capabilities with SAP TM. So we will just see the glimpse of TM functional overview, and we will also see what are the different applications in SAP TM system. Because let's say, for example, let me take an example of you being working in SD. Say, for example, you are an ABAP developer. Ultimately, when you say you are an ABAP developer, you will have to work with some of the transaction codes in SD: VA01, VA02, VA03, right? VL01, VL02, VL03, VF01, VF02, VF03. So these are some of the transactions, right? So you may be adding some custom fields, or you may be adding some custom tab, or you may be implementing some user exit or baddie, screen exit, something like that, right? So if you don't know how to create a sales order, or how to create a delivery, how to create a purchase order, how do you identify what is the user exit associated with specific process, right? So meaning that you don't have to have a full detailed SPRO customizing configuration, what is shipping condition, what is shipping type, what is Incoterms, what is sales organization. This kind of knowledge or understanding, you don't have to have it. But you should know how do you know what are the, how does the VA01 screen look like, and what are the tabs available, and how do you process it, where exactly you have to click on the button, what will happen. So some very high level understanding of these transactions, if you have that understanding, it is always helpful for the developer to quickly navigate through and replicate the steps and put a breakpoint, identify what is the code responsible, right? So this will avoid the more dependency on the functional consultant. Therefore, your delivery will be quick, and you can learn it fast. Of course, from the financial perspective also, it will be, you will get some benefit of understanding the functional overview, and when you attend the interview, you can demand more salary. The person will get more salary when he is more skilled. You should get, when you get an opportunity to showcase your skill, you should showcase your skill, and that will fetch you more salary, more income, more money, right? So here also, if you have a functional overview, and when you attend any interview, you have to have a mix of 20% functional and 80% of the technical explanation. Interviewer will satisfy like anything, and he will give top rating for you when he's, when he's forwarding your profile to the managerial round, HR round, etc., and your rating will fetch you more salary. Okay, if if any of you aware or not aware, this is what is the interview process will happen. In the technical round, technical interviewer will evaluate your profile on various skill set, and he will have to give a breakup on each skill set, what is your rating out of 10. Okay, so you, are you good at 9 out of 10 on BOPF, 8 out of 10 on floor plan manager, something like that, or 7 out of 10 on object oriented ABAP. So this kind of breakup will be given to, forwarded to the project manager. So project manager and HR manager will take a decision on what is the the scale, salary scale they can offer to you according to the organization policies. But definitely it will fetch you, and you can also, if there is a huge competition, there is one requirement out of 10 candidates, if you have this functional experience, functional understanding, then you can stand in the first place out of 10 guys, right? Okay, now let's proceed. So we will also see it in the system. We will spend very less time in the system to see to have a glimpse of how does the application looks like. Then we actually get into solution architecture and technical framework, and then our TM technical training session, we will deep dive into the technology frameworks. So here you see why we are talking about SAP transportation management, because we are in the globalization world, right? So manufacturing happens at some place, so we have various kind of materials, raw materials, semi-finished products, finished products. At the end, as a manufacturer, to make a car or to make a jeans or to make anything, right? So they need several raw materials, several semi-finished products. Not necessarily these raw materials are produced at some place. It could be, a raw material is available at China, semi-finished product is available at Germany, but at the end, to make the finished product, all kind of materials have to be transported to India. If the assembling unit or if the final manufacturing unit is located in India, then all the materials are brought into one final assembly location and the assembling will happen. The finished product, the finished car is sent to dealer, distributor, showroom, and finally it is sold to the customers, right? So not just cars, any product, right? Any finished product, it needs several raw materials, several semi-finished products. You all must be carrying mobile phone, right? So finally, to make a finished product as a mobile phone, that it needs several sub-materials, right? So these sub-materials are manufactured at different locations across the geography, across the world, and finally they are moved into different final unit and assembly will happen and will be sold. But for all this to happen, logistics is an important, important motherhood for all this to happen, right? So that logistics, we are calling it as SAP transportation management. In the technology terms, SAP transportation management supports you in all activities connected with the physical transportation of goods from one location to another location. Here if you look at it, the basic flow in ECC when there was no SAP transportation management. So both outbound and inbound shipments are possible. In the outbound, sales order is the basis, for inbound purchase order is the basis, and outbound delivery or inbound delivery, and finally the shipment. The shipment is part of the logistics execution. Now the logistics execution is going to be, logistics execution is become obsolete by 2027 2030. That is the SAP roadmap, and this is the fact. You all are why you all are learning SAP TM, and why SAP TM is so successful and so demanding in the market. I should tell you this truth. Why? Because in when there was no S4HANA, when there was no SAP TM, we all were working with ECC environment. In ECC, the so-called transportation used to be, used to be associated with the logistics execution module. That logistics execution module is going to be obsolete by 2027 and 2030. And for all logistics fulfillment in the technology SAP ERP world, that you have to achieve by using SAP transportation management. And this SAP transportation management is available in two facilities. One is decentralized SAP TM, and another is TM embedded S4 HANA. And ECC is also becoming obsolete by 2027 and 2030, and the only ERP SAP box is available, that is S4 HANA, by 2027 and 2030. Therefore, every customer who is working with ECC today, they will have to transform or migrate themselves into S4 HANA world. So in S4 HANA, TM is offered in two different licenses: basic licensing and advanced licensing. There are certain limitations with basic licensing, and all full-fledged, full-blown SAP TM functionalities are available with advanced licensing. But doesn't matter whether the customer will go with basic licensing or advanced licensing. But the good part is the TM technical consultant for developing any customer development requirements or to support customer in SAP TM world is very much needed, right? So TM functional consultant and TM technical consultant, both the consultants are needed to implement TM module in S4 HANA environment. If it is a decentralized TM system, even then TM technical consultant and TM functional consultants both are very much essential for any project to implement SAP TM. So here you will see some of the differences between LE logistics execution and transportation. That was the module name in ECC, and now in SAP TM. So here you will see, probably it sounds more familiar for functional consultant, but let's quickly glance it and we'll jump to the next sessions, next slides. So shipments, the planning and creation of the shipments used to happen based on deliveries, one or many deliveries, but in TM system, the planning and creation of the freight orders happens based on the freight units. So freight unit is the basis for freight unit is the first document that is created in TM system for all further activities. Now here shipments normally correspond to the entire transportation from source to destination, but here you can split into multiple freight units depending on certain criteria. You can define it in TM system, and it is so flexible that depending on source location, destination location, based on the Incoterm, based on the business partner, ordering party, supplier, so all this combination you can plan optimally, and therefore the cost optimization is also very beneficial. And at the end, everyone do the business. Why everyone does the business? Because at the end they want profitability, they want to increase their profit. So all these profitability aspects and optimal planning, optimal execution is provided with the transportation management. And outbound and inbound shipments, there was no distinction, but in TM system that is that is possible. Very basic functionality of carrier selection was possible, but with advanced functionality, with the tendering, you can do spot tendering or plant tendering, and you can also choose carriers based on the tendering concepts. And it collaboration portal was also possible with TM system, but now there is a new a cloud version, on-premise version is also getting available for collaborating with carriers. Basic functionality for charge calculations, but in TM system, advanced functionality is available, right? And basic transportation planning, but here you can have manual planning, you can have automated planning. So by looking at this slide, what is the takeaway is that, SAP, all the innovations, all the new offerings, they have invested their effort, time and effort in transportation management only. They have invested a lot of time and money in shaping the transportation management to serve all the kind of customers in the global market. SAP TM can fulfill the needs of different kind of customers. Here you can see shipper is, is a kind of, is nothing but a manufacturer. The one who manufacture the goods is called as shipper in SAP transportation management terminology. And then SAP TM will also caters to logistics service providers like DHL, Kuhne Nagel, and FedEx. These are all LSPs, they're all LSPs. Yeah, so DHL, FedEx, Blue Dot, Kuhne Nagel, Panalpina, they're all LSPs. And Cargill is a manufacturer, they are treated as a shipper. Nike, Adidas, Cargill Foods, Reliance, they're all shippers and manufacturers. Now, SAP TM also caters to another category of customer. They are carriers. CMA, CGM, NOL, Maersk, they are all carriers, right? So SAP TM primarily caters to three different kind of customers: shippers, LSPs, and carriers. So they are all implementing SAP TM for sure. SAP TM for shippers. How does the transaction flow happens in SAP TM for shippers? So here you can see this is these screenshots. This slide basically taken with a decentralized SAP TM system, but more or less it is very same in S4HANA also, but just that it is TM is embedded into S4HANA, but the process still remains same. Okay, so here you can see left side, TM is the driving system, right? Sorry, ECC is the driving system, but the business process or integration between ECC and TM, in the left side it starts from sales order, but in the right side it starts from delivery. Okay, so forward planning, backward planning. So in the first left side you will see forward planning, I mean are ahead of the planning ahead. So meaning that they want to plan their shipments ahead of the actual execution. That is when sales order, as soon as the sales order is created, in the TM system, corresponding OTR will be created, which is also called as order based transportation requirement request. And then subsequently freight units will be created. Then transportation planning will be created. Just one moment. Yeah, you can see freight units will be created as soon as the OTR is created. Then, based on the freight units, transportation planning will be done either manually or automatically. Then the result of the transportation planning is freight order and freight booking. From freight order, freight booking, delivery proposal will be created. And as soon as the delivery is created, delivery based transportation requirement is created. Then the same freight units will be updated. The planning, freight order, freight booking will be created, and then shipment will be created. So this is in ECC and TM integration. Now let's come to the S4HANA. So I don't have any slide prepared for S4HANA, but here the moment in, especially with S4HANA TM embedded 2020 version, order based transportation requirement has become obsolete. Order based transportation requirement is obsolete with TM embedded S4HANA. So rest all same. And here also delivery based transportation requirement is obsolete. Okay, so this is sales order based integration. Right side you will see delivery based integration. Now the customer say, hey, okay, I don't want to do any planning based on the sales order, but I do the planning as soon as the delivery is created. Then that is in that case. So for sales order, the delivery is created in ECC system, and as soon as the delivery is created, delivery based transportation requirement is created, and freight units, the process remains same here. And shipment. So the customers, those who are using Elytra even today, the shipments will be created. But if customers say, hey, I don't want to create any shipment, but then only the applications or processes that remains in TM system. Okay, so here you will see even in S4HANA also, in the second process, sales order delivery remains same. Either you take TM embedded S4HANA or you take decentralized ECC TM system. Why this slide is still relevant? Because the candidates, the participants who are attending this training session, not necessary that they will work with TM embedded S4HANA. Maybe you are into SAP TM project, but that SAP TM customer still using decentralized SAP TM system integrated with ECC. Therefore, this slide is still relevant even today, because different customers are using different landscape environment. Okay, so Again, I saw one of the question from Bharati, that what is the pros and cons. That pros and cons, let's not focus more in this present in this TM technical training, because the more we focus on this subject, we will lose the time, and our focus is more onto the TM technical. Okay, so this is all sales order based. If let me be very precise in answering to that question, I don't want to disappoint you. That sales order based planning is planning ahead. If it is a delivery based planning, that you already know that you want to deliver the shipments, it's like this. For example, you are a manufacturer and you have received a customer order, and customer order is saying that, okay, I want the goods to be delivered today's, say for example 20 May 2022. I would take an example of Nike. Nike has received an order from their customer to deliver the goods on 25th of May. If the ordered goods are readily available, if the ordered goods are readily available in the production plant, and if Nike can deliver the order requested goods by 25th May, they will go with the sales order and delivery based planning. The second process is applicable. Now the first process is applicable if the Nike has received an order to deliver the goods on 30th May, but the goods are not readily available in the production plant. So based on the customer placed order, now they want to start the manufacturing. Now they want to start the manufacturing. Therefore, they will go with the sales order process, and then they will do the sales order based planning ahead of the time. They will keep the transportation planning, transportation execution, everything ready. As soon as the goods are manufactured and they are ready to be delivered, if the process is already in place, they just load the goods into the container, and the container is ready to dispatch and will be delivered at the customer side. So that is the difference. It's all what is pros and cons. No, there is no pros and cons. It is all depending on the customer business situation. Both are both processes can be implemented at one customer. Maybe one of them is implemented at customer. Can you please go on mute if you're not talking? Okay, so now we look at from the LSP perspective. So from LSP, here you see, from LSP, customer will place an order, and as soon as the customer places an order, the forwarding order is the first document that will be created. So as if forwarding order is nothing but a sales order in ECC system, but here in LSP, forwarding order will be created, that is also called as customer order, and the rest all process remains same. Freight unit, freight order, freight booking, so rest all process remains same, except in the shipper, sales order or purchase order is the business process starting point, but in the LSP, forwarding order is the starting process. Yeah, so this is more complex. We will get into it when we actually start the training. So here you will see what all other SAP integrations possible. So TM can be integrated with the EWM system, TM integrated with event management, GTS, and ECC as well. But with S4HANA, again, as I said, as I've been reiterated, that you all can have one S4HANA box, all these modules embedded into one system. Okay, so any questions so far?
Hey, Karthik, definitely you cannot connect, what do you call, cover all the functionalities on TM, right? So are you be sharing any videos or documents if suppose if I want to go deep into how to create a freight order, I mean, just to create a I mean, how to, I mean, from end to end, if you want to do something, are you providing any videos as part of this training or because ultimately, if you go to interviews, we should be in a position to tell some story, right? So what we have done, what is the functionality behind it, what is this implementation all about, some sort of story. So are you providing some functional videos or some
Okay, so
documentation?
see, right. So
Mhm.
functional videos, as I said, that we will be focusing very minimal time on TM functional things.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Mhm.
as a part of TM technical training, we cannot do the TM technical training without forwarding order, without freight order, or any application. We can take
Mhm.
any application from, but the technical point of view, it remains same. Okay,
Mhm.
so how to create a freight order, how to create a forwarding order, how to integrate these applications, we will not be discussing. Okay, we will
Mhm.
take the example of existing freight order which is already in the system, and
Mhm.
using that freight order we will demonstrate what is
Mhm.
relevant for SAP TM technical.
Okay.
Okay, but again, once you get SAP system access, you
Mhm.
can practice yourself how to create a freight order or how to create a freight booking. Okay, so the system, I'm not sure, what is the discussion that you had with Naveen, but
Mhm.
if you are getting a SAP system access, you
Mhm.
can, start creating forwarding order, freight booking, everything on your
Okay.
own. Okay,
Okay.
and now coming to the videos,
Mhm.
what you will get at end of the training, one thing is that after every session, the video will be recorded,
Mhm.
and that recorded video will be shared with you, and you
Mhm.
can also recap the session what was discussed, and if you had any questions or if you have not attended any particular day due to your personal work, you can also go through the recording video, and most of the questions can be answered by going through the recorded video. Now the second thing is, at end of the training course, I have prepared custom made step by step guide document. Okay, right, how to do so and so enhancement, how to add a button, or how to create a determination. So some of the practical examples that we do in our day to day life in real time projects, those examples have been taken, and with screenshots and a detailed step by step explanation, the document is made by myself, and I will give an access to the document at end of the training. Now the
Mhm.
second thing is, I also prepared another document with some important links where you may not get it when you search in the Google, but with a lot of effort, all the important links that I found which are valuable, helpful when we are working in the real time project, those links are uh, you know uh, pasted in a document, and that document also I will give an access. So these two documents are provided to you, access are given to you at end of the training.
Okay.
Okay, rest all, if you have any questions from the videos or anything apart from the TM technical content, please reach out to Naveen, and you can discuss with Naveen based on your what you are paying and what is your terms and conditions that you discuss with Naveen, you can mutually agree upon it.
Understood.
Okay, any other questions?
So Karthik, Praveen this side. So
Yeah, Praveen.
Rajni, Rajani, sorry to say this. If he's not, see, some echo problem is coming because he is again he himself making himself unmute. Can you mute him?
I guess he got muted. Huh?
No, actually, he is. I think joined for two from two. This one is still it is unmuted.
No. One thing, he didn't join from the. He didn't connect it to audio. Okay.
Might be that. Okay, so my question here is, as you already mentioned that you are not going to showcase that how this document get created and it distributed. So, but you explain the words, right? Because we are new to TM, so might be this word of freight order, what it really means, it freight order, what it contains. So you will explain a little bit of that, or it just like you only use those words in your whenever we will go with the deep dive of technical artifacts.
See, this training is a limited time, right? It is all up to you. How do you want to utilize this training time? Let's say, for example, if there are different course topics, say 10 different course topics, you ask me, hey, Karthik, I want to focus entire course duration on only one particular topic. I can talk because I'm the trainer, I'm experienced, and I've been giving trainings last 4 years. I can talk 30 hours on one topic. But at the end, you all paying some money. You should take a wise decision. Should we go with a trainer course content which will cover all the topics that are required for SAP TM technical to work on real-time project, or I know everything, but I don't know one topic, but I want to learn that topic? If you say that, we will focus on one particular topic only. And remember, this is TM technical training session. And I hope, Naveen, have you shared that course content with all the participants?
Yeah. We shared the course content.
Exactly. So you have the course content, and that is the course content that we cover in the training session and given within the given time range. Okay.
Karthik, I just want to mention. I mean, the reason I'm agree with Pravas because you don't need to explain each and everything, but if you give some documentation or something, because assume like you are talking about freight order, we are enhancing a freight order, you are doing some development of freight order. If we don't know what is freight order and what exactly it is, I mean, it will not sink in our minds. So if you give some documentation or whatever it is, some help from your side, not necessarily you need to spend time on that. I mean, appreciate. As per your plan, we will cover
I got it.
everything.
Now I got your point. I got your question. So for that, you will get some links where you will, see. I think I would say that let's utilize the time optimally, because
Hmm.
there are some blogs already available which will explain how to create a freight order, how to create a freight booking, or how
Hmm.
to create a, how to integrate. I hope I have that links. I will share it with you, and you can, use that links, or you can refer those links to practice yourself to create a freight order and freight booking. Or
Okay.
what we can also do, we can dedicate one session, but the challenge is that one session may not be sufficient to do these functional things. Okay, for me, I'm okay, but at the end, you will be losing some time which is dedicated for TM technical. Whether you want to follow the blogs and try yourself, or you want me to explain in one of the session how to create a freight order, freight booking, it is up to you. I'm pretty much fine with anything.
Okay.
Any other questions, please? See here, just to answer, I've been hearing from you. here you will see SAP TM applications into the system. We will get into the system and we will see how does the forwarding order look like, how does the freight order look like, how does the freight booking look like, and what is the transportation cockpit. Now if your expectation is to tell me how to create a freight order based on the freight units, freight booking, that is actually be part of the TM functional training session. That is the objective of the TM functional training session. The functional consultant, when teaching the functional consultant training, he will tell you how to create a freight order, how to create a freight booking. Okay, so that is the focus of TM functional training. Now you are expecting me to teach that those topics which are covered in TM functional to be put into TM technical. I know how to do that, I can cover that, but we will have to again increase the total time of the training, and we will have to negotiate with Naveen on the course duration, course fee also. Okay, so Naveen, I will leave it to you. Please talk to the participants, and then
No, Karthik. Let's do one thing, Karthik. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's have 1 hour of functional overview of session. Okay. 1 hour session. Let's have it one functional overview session. Okay. And we'll share them the documents. Okay. So that they will be able to learn by themselves. Okay. So then we can utilize our time to the technical. Okay. Still,
perfect.
if anyone needs some extra sessions, then we'll discuss about. Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, it works. I think it works.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, then I think enjoy your weekend. Thank you everyone for joining the demo session.
Hey, Karthik, sorry, one last question.
Yeah.
Is it
Go ahead. No problem.
is it a weekend sessions or I mean how is it planned?
It will be weekend sessions.
Okay. Weekly once or weekly twice?
Weekly twice, Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Okay. So we have a session tomorrow as well.
We have a batch already running that is coming close to the end of the batch. Please be in touch with Naveen. He will update you. But
Okay.
definitely the batch is starting very soon, in 1 week or 2 weeks time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anwar, I'll just update you in the offline by Monday or Tuesday when to start. Okay. Most
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
we'll try to start from next weekend. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Karthik. Thanks, Naveen. Have a good week.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.